Brandon Arnold joins us right now, the National Taxpayers Union Executive Vice President. Brandon, I would imagine you welcome an infrastructure package that falls apart. I know your organization had said that just the $1.2 trillion initiative on the part of the administration, the so-called bipartisan plan, is a lot more costly and will add a lot more to the debt than anyone has been figuring, including the Congressional Budget Office. So you would welcome that stymied or stopped, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the infrastructure bill adds, in our calculations, about $400 billion to the national debt at a time when we have trillions of dollars of red ink. It's absolutely fiscally irresponsible. They can address infrastructure, which is a high priority for this country. They can address it without running up the tab on future generations, but they fail to do so. So, yeah, if this collapses because of Democratic infighting, that's certainly fine with me. I think there's a better route forward for taxpayers that doesn't involve mountains and mountains of red ink.
I'm just wondering, and we've seen this before when presidents slip in the polls or they're under pressure, and certainly this president is dealing with that. His approval rating has dipped under 50% in two tracking polls, first-time lows for this president, that this will extend to other areas. What's your sense of where we go from here?
I think that's certainly problematic from the Biden administration's perspective, because right now they've operated as if they have a mandate from the voters. The voters put them in the White House, gave Democrats both houses of Congress. But because those margins are very thin and because their popularity is starting to wane, not just because of Afghanistan, but certainly because of the handling of COVID, there's a lot of infighting that's emerged. Democrats in the House of Representatives, for instance, can't agree on the size of the package. They can't agree on the tax rates. They can't agree on whether immigration should be included or excluded. They can't even agree on the sequencing of these big pieces of legislation, the bipartisan infrastructure deal and the larger budget reconciliation deal that's supposedly going to cost $3.5 trillion, a phenomenal amount of money, which is too small from the progressives' perspective. So there's a lot of opportunities for this entire package to fall apart, which would be good news for taxpayers, in my opinion.
You know, Brendan, when the president was weighing in on those 19 Republicans who voted for the infrastructure-only package, he was more or less putting out, their traitors, led by Mitch McConnell. They did President Biden's bidding, and then they'll regret it. I don't know quite when he was saying that to Maria Bartiromo what he meant, but do you think President Trump will play a more prominent role than might have earlier been the case, especially since what's been happening in Afghanistan?
I'm not sure that he will, to be honest. Right now, if Pelosi put that bipartisan infrastructure deal on the floor of the House and put it up for a vote, it would pass easily. So I don't think even with Republican defections, they have a problem there. The problem is because progressives have decided they want to do the bigger package first because they're afraid if the smaller one passes, it might take some wind out of their sails. They have a problem there. But if they're just doing a pure vote on the infrastructure deal, I think they have the votes. There will be some Republicans that support it. There will be the majority, if not all Democrats, that do so. The problem is they can't get their act together because they have so many different priorities within their own conference.
Yeah, it's a mess, but things change. We never know. Brendan Arnold, thank you. Good seeing you again. All right, we are.